Hey guys, welcome to Story Time with yours truly, Nathan Yaps. Please enjoy the video footage of me putting the cards away from our box opening. Super fun box opening, by the way. Please go check out that video. But stay tuned for the stories that I have for you today because I have been playing Magic the Gathering for, I suppose, 6 years now, coming up on 7 years. I mean, loosely, I've been playing Magic for 8 years, but I really got into it at a certain point in my life. I was mainly playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that led on to my addiction to this fantasy genre of game. Now, our first story comes out around the time when the Forgotten Realms set came out. That was back in 2021. Wow, 2021. I feel like an old man, my goodness. But I had a lot of fun with that set, especially the dungeon mechanic. And during my birthday, there was this huge get together. I invited all of my friends to come and play Magic. Half of them didn't even know how to play. I sort of knew how to play, but I was still learning mechanics. I mean, I could say even now after playing Magic the Gathering for so long, I know most of the mechanics. I just get confused sometimes. We were playing the Forgotten Realms set booster box. We were doing a little bit of a draft. So everyone was creating their own decks. We were playing at my LGS, and we were playing. Everything was super cool. I was super happy for my friends, not the usual ones, but the friends who came along to my birthday party, and it's their first time playing Magic. Just because I love new players so much, introducing people to the community and introducing them into the gameplay. And a lot of them actually, after that particular event, kept playing Magic the Gathering with me, and I still play with them to this day. So they can definitely blame me for their bank account shrinking significantly just because of all the cards that they buy. But ignoring that, I was really happy to see those new players get into the game. The only problem is, we all know the Magic the Gathering player stereotype, right? You have unhealthy looking, very weird acting, like backrooms entity level looking characters, right? So at my LGS, it's not like that at all. And the Magic the Gathering community, we're not unhealthy Redditor Discord moderator looking people, okay? There's some of us that are extremely handsome, including me. That's biased, by the way. When I brought all of my friends to play Magic the Gathering on this particular day, on this very particular day, and this almost never happens, there was already a group of 8 people there, and I kid you not, they had a little bit of an aura to them. It's just that that aura that they had was green. Like there was a scent. I would relate that smell to a Denny's trash can that was thrown up in 10 times and then set on fire. It wasn't great. Not a good introduction to the Magic the Gathering community. Now, these 8 people are probably awesome. They're probably super cool. If they put deodorant on, I'm sure they would be like my best friend. The only thing is, we were trapped in a prison of bad smells. I didn't let it ruin my draft. I didn't let it ruin my birthday. We still had a lot of fun. I was teaching the new players how to play, and then I was also like absolutely destroying the people who already knew how to play. So overall, it was great. I mean, I mostly won my matches because I'm sure they were going easy on me because not only like did I mostly pay for the draft, but it's also my birthday. And overall, a great, memorable time. Those 8 people left halfway through the draft, and it was a sweet, sweet relief. But, either way, even if they stayed, I'm sure I still would have had a fantastic time either way. Okay, so since we're on the topic of a pre-release and draft environment, let's go ahead and skip a couple of years to 2023. This was during the Phyrexia All Will Be One pre-release, and it was going pretty well for me when I first started. I went 2-0, and then it was on to my second game where I met this really cool guy. We started talking before we even started the game, and he was telling me about his art. He does a painting, And he showed me a couple pictures. He looks super talented. But anyways, we both decided, hey, we got to start this game. We got to get it going. We actually used up probably about 10 minutes of our time just talking because I mean, he just seemed like such an interesting person. I didn't want to end our conversation. But we got to it. I was playing green white infect, and so we shuffle our cards, we start playing. It's about turn 8. Now, this was a long time ago, so I don't know exactly how much health both him and I had, but what I do know is if one creature got through, I would have lost the game. And he had two creatures, I only had one. The one creature that I had was Sinew Slicer, which he had enough poison counters on him to where all I needed to do was spend one white mana to tap down one of his creatures. But, the issue is he has two creatures, I have one. Even if I tap one down during the combat phase, he will already have like declared attackers. So tapping his creatures, it wouldn't do anything because they would already be tapped. And either way, it's just a 1/1. So I can only block one creature no matter what. But then this other group of people came in and they said, no, 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 you can tap down his creature and you can block with Sinew Slicer and you wouldn't die. And I was really confused because, mechanically that's just not how it works. And, obviously I don't want to cheat my opponent. My opponent, he had kind of a weird face on too because he knows that's not how it works. So we both try to explain to the group, hey, just so you know that that's not how it's going to be because I can either block or I can tap down one creature. I cannot do both. Here's the weird part. They just kept on pushing and saying that no, 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 you can tap that creature down and you can block with it. That'll be totally fine. That makes sense. Listen, I don't know what was up with these guys. Well, actually, I do know what was up with them because I find out that these opponents were the same ones that he faced earlier and won against. So that was pretty wild. They just kept pushing. They wanted me to win so bad when I honestly was on my opponent's side here. I did end up losing the round because I didn't want to cheat. I wanted to play the game fairly. And the group that came up to us, they were pretty mad with the outcome, which I don't understand. There's nothing they would have gained from me winning rather than him winning. Like I don't know these guys. This is a pre-release at my LGS, but I do not know any of these people. Random people show up to my pre-release all the time because it has different set days. It's usually on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On this occasion, I went on Saturday, which I don't usually go Saturdays for the pre-release. Let's end this off on a high note because I do have one last story, and this one's sort of like a recent one. I was playing Commander, I was playing Umbra's Fear Manifest, and this was a Commander game with two of my other friends. One of my buddies was playing Animar of the Elements, and the other one was playing Ariete of the Charmed Apple. Both really cool decks, and we got late into the game. This is probably turn, I don't know, 10 or 11. We're all on really low health, and it's at this point where the player playing Animar buffs him up to become a 100-100 or something insane like that. You know how Commander games go. And the Animar player ends up taking out the player playing Ariete because with less cards in exile, my commander becomes smaller. So it shrunk my commander from a like 21-21 to a 10-10, which it doesn't help that Animar also has protection from black because all of the removal in my hand cannot be used on Animar. So it was almost a guaranteed loss for me, not to mention my commander was absolutely blockable. So I draw my next card. It's going to my turn. This is my last turn before I lose the game. And that's the exact moment when Cover of Darkness gets put into my hand. I am so excited. My commander cannot be blocked now because he has fear, and I can aim for the Animar player. However, my commander's a 10-10, and he's on 20 health. So it's still not winnable. I have one other card in my hand, and it was some random horror creature that cost like 6 mana. I don't even know what it did. I just played it because it was the last thing I could have played, and since my commander, whenever I play a nightmare or a horror, exiles cards off the top of his library, I still have like the most minuscule, tiny chance of him exiling enough cards to where I can get my commander buffed up and kill him and take him out of the game. But as he starts exiling cards off the top of his library until he hits a land, he exiles 4 cards. He exiles 8 cards. We're getting close. 12 cards? 18 cards? 26 cards until he exiles a land off the top of his library. 26 cards! And there's a lot of lands in this Animar deck too, because he has to play expensive creatures. Animar helps to sneak them out, but he still has like 10 mana Eldrazi's that he has to pay for. So it was absolutely insane to see someone exile like a quarter of their library until they hit a land card. But, anyways, that's all in the past now. That's all the stories I have for you guys right now. I've been playing Magic a long time, and I'm sure there's plenty more stories to come. But that's all I have for you right now. Thanks for joining in to Story Time with Nathan Yaps. Please join us next time where I do something. I don't know, whatever my Discord community suggests. Speaking of my Discord community, please join our Discord. I love talking to new people, and I've met some pretty awesome friends in there. We're making a custom set. We're also just making custom cards together, and we love talking about Magic the Gathering, and we love sending photos of our cute, adorable animals. Now, you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all, and take care.